Happy Friday,
Welcome back.
BTD live show.
Live show.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
We're only 3 minutes behind. We're making good time.
We were actually 10 minutes early.
We were
mic
only
issue.
3 minutes behind. Welcome back to the live show, Friday live show. It's been 72 hours since the Astros played a game. It feels like.
It does feel like a while.
I hate a day game, off day, night game. It's just
tough. I'm sure the players love it.
Yeah, player wise, yeah.
What's up, Jaden? How's your week? We both had some long weeks.
It's been
had the flu game.
Yeah, this week has been my personal Vietnam week. As you could tell, I sound terrible. I've been a mouth breather all week, not to discriminate like to Eli Manning, but it's been
you're discriminating to Eli
discriminating Eli Manning himself. But the Astros won a home series, so I'm happy. Yo, what's up, Sicario? What's up, Pena? How are you? What's up, everyone?
You have 3. It's kind of like what was it? Christmas Story. What's the one with the ghosts of Christmas?
The ghosts of Christmas Past.
So you have the 3 aces in Chicago this
Ooh.
This weekend. The ace of Christmas Past, the ace of Christmas Present, and the ace of Christmas Future.
Damn, that's a bar, dude.
I just
did you think of that?
I knew it was 3 aces, but I just put it all together like the former ace, the current ace, and the future ace.
Mouth tape. Yeah.
This should be realistically, this should be multiple 3 games in a row where they win by 5 runs. Like, should be.
I need the Astros to make a statement in these 3 games. I leave no doubt. Get the sweep. Let's get on. Let's get on and move
on.
All the comments coming in. Get your questions into this episode is going to be answering questions, vibing out on this Friday. We already did the recap of the Tiger series on our YouTube. You can go over there, check it out. The boys got the Game 5 recap as well for the Rockets playoffs. Game 6 tonight. Big week. Big.
Or
got the H-Town,
the basketball
variant one.
That's a bar right there. It's Friday and we're above dirt, gentlemen. We are blessed.
Amen. Andy lives just 1 L stop from the rate, so he'll be at all 3 this weekend.
Oh, hell yeah.
Update on the JMI. Looks chilly.
Andy. Yeah, it looks like a chilly.
Yeah, little beanie,
The day games will probably be nice.
Little beanie.
Beanie pullover action.
Beanie pullover. Hoodie pullover. Over on Instagram, Jay Nass, thoughts on Lance throwing. I'm ecstatic. I feel like it's a long time coming, 1, but 2, just to see him be so resilient to come back. I mean, a lot of people don't after all these injuries that pile up. And obviously, like we're fans of the guy, right? Like he's the first athlete to do anything with us with Apollo, and we're like literally during COVID out of the guest bedroom in my house. So like, of course I'm gonna go to war for the guy, right? I mean, and people's reactions of how they feel to him being injured and stuff. It's not like he was out there getting injured on purpose. Like, to see him battle back,
throwing his arm to shreds for this city, for this team.
Yeah, and so I'm just excited to see him just progress throughout the year. I'm not expecting AL pitcher of the month right off the bat, but I'm expecting by when we're calling the mayor to start playing in parades, he's going to be kind of on that first float. I think if he's pitching at what the expectations we want him to be, it elevates the floor of this team, 1, but 2, it's a guy that has pedigree in October, and people and teams and organizations kill for that kind of, 1, energy, but 2, experience. So just want to see him build off each start. Obviously the White Sox coming in.
Let's somebody was asking about our real reactions if the start goes bad. Not everybody coming back after surgery like this is going to be good. Their first start out.
Oh yeah, I mean the first month.
What are your expectations? For me, I'm thinking if he gets to 65 pitches, 4 maybe into the 5th inning, like that'd be great. 3 earned runs or less. That's awesome. That's great for me. That's something he can build on. I think what's the most he's thrown? Was it 80? Did he get up to 80? I think, and hit one of his rehab starts. I know he had 7 Ks his last rehab start. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he comes out there and he's ready to throw, 90 pitches. But flip side of that, MLB games are, there's more adrenaline there, so you probably don't want him going that many unless it's pretty breezy.
Yeah, I mean, it's baseball, right? Like the expectations are a sweep. The Astros are a better team than the White Sox, but you got to line up and play against them. And we know the Astros play up and down throughout this golden age. So, look, I honestly, I hope the White Sox are going to be a feisty out for them. I hope they put some good at bats together, put them in positions of stress, and put them in positions of it gets the heart rate up and the adrenaline going. I think the big key for Lance to start, and obviously we'll go back to the tonight's start, but for Lance to start, what I'm looking at is innings 2 and innings 3. Inning 1, he's gonna be amped up, right? I mean, the nerves, the adrenaline, the anticipation. You're probably sitting there doing your bullpen. You're probably going through your game plan, and everything of the last 2.5 years is just in your head, right? Every bullpen, every medical appointment, every doctor's appointment, every sit down with the team, sit down with your family, your wife, your kids. All of that is you're human. It's going to be a very human thing. When you zone in, you're in your pen, you're doing that work, right? You're going in. That first inning's going to be like, okay, I'm done. That adrenaline dump's going to happen. So to get back up to go up for the second and third inning, right, and seeing where that is, see where his if his fastball drops a bit, in miles per hour, if his slider flattens out, if his changeup flattens out, the sinker flattens out. So kind of that's where I'm focusing that second and third inning to see him build off that. But there's the human element side that I think a lot of people don't really think about. I mean, think about your work. What everyone does in their day-to-day life, and imagine missing 2.5 years. Yeah, you're gonna have a little butterflies in your stomach. You're gonna have a little, okay, let's fucking go, let's do this when you're getting back into whatever you're doing, right? So that's what I'm excited to look at and see. I mean, ultra competitor, right? So some other questions over on IG. How much do you think JP3 going to get on his extension if he gets one? Yeah, I was talking with the boys yesterday. We were playing MLB The Show, and we're kind of talking through the numbers of what that looks like. And I don't really know what a Jeremy Pena extension looks like.
Yeah, I was trying to think of player. Did JP Crawford ever get an extension, or is he still in arbitration?
I don't know. Let me see.
I feel like that's a similar comp.
Jeremy's better than JP Crawford. Get the heck out of here, dude. So
I don't know, man. I'm just talking about career stats to this point.
JP Crawford ain't done nothing in October.
Sure, yeah.
So Jeremy being ARB 2 at 28 and the ARB 3 at 29, unrestricted free agent at 30 in 2028. Is it somewhere between 15 and 20 million a year? You get a 5-year 100, 5-year 125. I don't know what that looks like. Who?
Okay, yeah. JP Crawford got an extension for 5 for 51. So it's gonna be more than that.
Yeah.
5 for 51.
I do think there's go up a little on IG. I think we missed some stuff.
Yeah, we got to those.
I mean, Justin, I think I talked about it, right? Your question if he comes out and is flat on Sunday, like I'm worried where he's going to be by the All-Star break. You know what I mean? Over on IG, rocking the bury me in the H, whip at 120. Yeah, well, I think 120 would be great. Yeah, Justin, I agree with the limiting on that. And then we're going to jump on the YouTube comments over here too. I'm just going through Instagram because they go pretty quick. I don't know where, because like for Jeremy Pena, it feels like he's on this precipice of being a budding superstar or just a 15 to 20 year MLB guy. Like, and I think it's falling more to a budding superstar. I mean, his savant page is great. He's letting his athleticism show, and we were at the game on Wednesday, as everyone knows, because I'm throwing Josh in there now. We're the reason why they lost on Wednesday, but it feels like this is the leap of Jeremy Pena at age 27. Like, I think is the right path. I think what we're seeing now is, hey, he's getting into the prime of his life athletically, and you expect that jump to happen. And I think we're seeing it. I think expectations are just so rose-colored goggles with him because he had such an insane month of October as a rookie. And, the 1100 OPS, the ALCS MVP, the World Series MVP, that people expect that expectations. But if you were to take that month away, right? Like say the Astros got beat in 2022, didn't even make the playoffs. You just took his 2022 for what it was, and you look at 2023 and then 2024, you're kind of seeing that step up. So I just think that back end of 22 just has everything in the scope of it different. And for fair or not, right? Like he absolutely played possessed. We know what's in there when is possessed. So that's kind of where I'm at with Jeremy. I just feel like he's just so close to being that next shortstop superstar. So
more on this. I know you're right. Jeremy's higher than JB Crawford, but he's just the more like a closer comp I could find as far as a guy that he signed an extension when he had 3 years of ARB left. And his extension was 5 for 51, basically making about 11 mil. He's been making about 11 mil a year.
I think Jeremy's 15 and 20.
Yeah. So Jeremy Pena would have to be, based on their numbers, Jeremy's about 2 or 3 WAR a year better.
Yeah.
So as much as y'all might, some people might think that 20 mil is an overpay for Jeremy Pena, that's about where the numbers are going to be. I'd have to do a deeper dive on other comps, other players that signed. What was Trey Turner's?
Ooh.
Obviously, that's the higher end.
Yeah, that'd be.
It's kind of hard because Jeremy's right in the middle, where he's leaning towards the Trey Turner type superstar. Like he's tipping that way.
Turner was 11 for 300 million, dude.
Yeah,
that's insane.
So like Jeremy's right. He's in between JP Crawford and Trey Turner. And that number might be about 20.
I think 20 is probably the sweet spot.
Especially if he continues to lead, and if this team goes in deep in the playoffs with him leading, like that's.
I mean, Jeremy's making 4.1 a year right now.
Yeah.
I mean, just this past year arbitration, right?
2 years,
and he's going to keep going up. You tell 28-year-old Jeremy Pena, hey, let me buy 2 of your RBers out, and you have 40 million by the time that you would have been a restricted free agent. I think he'd say yes.
I think I think you could do like a 6 for 100.
Yeah, what is that math?
It's like a little bit less than 20 for you can buy
like 18
his 2 RBers for like 10 to 15, and then 20 mil after that.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I mean, it's kind of like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? You didn't do it with Hunter Brown before Hunter Brown developed the sinker, and I know there's a lot of heat.
Cost a lot more after this year.
Hunter Brown's going to be
last year, the year
very, very expensive free agent. But I'm going to go over on YouTube real quick. There's a bunch of questions that came in. How do you feel about Cam Smith so far?
Yes, I had his savant page.
So I actually I put this in the group message with the guys, and I want to put it out on y'all's opinion. I think Cam Smith's been good for what a rookie in the show, and I mean, literally this time last year he was preparing for a regional at Florida State, right? Where I'm at, and I think a lot of questions today will be, oh, look at Alex Bregman, look at Kyle Tucker, all this stuff, right? And I think still right now the Kyle Tucker trade was amazing, right? You got an arm in the rotation. You got a rookie crown jewel that you'll have for 8 more years. It is already in the show by necessity. You have a third baseman that replaced a franchise icon that's playing day in and day out. What I feel like is it was a pick 6, and right before Dana and co scored, they dropped the ball at the 1 yard line in an early celebration. And saying that and using that reference, I feel like this lineup is a bat short, maybe 2 bats short. I feel like the trade worked, right? Like trade, you shore up a spot. You weren't going to sign Tuck for $550 million. What he's going to get? You got a top prospect in the show. Now, if Cam Smith didn't go nuclear possessed in spring training, you would have been rolling out Chaz and Jake, right? Just from looking at roster construction. Chaz McCormick is now essentially a platoon / late inning defensive replacement just from the last 6 weeks, right? That's where they plug and play him. So if that was my mindset, if you didn't have the expectation of Cam Smith being Cam Smith, so what were we doing? We were still a bat short for that platoon 1 and a bat short on the bench. So it just feels like they dropped the ball at the 1, and you can make it up, right? And Dana's done it the most perfect way. In 2021, when he was with the Braves, Acuna Jr. goes down. They go get Rosario, Jock, Ozuna, Soler, and they mosh posh. They get some bats. They go and win it, right? So that's what I'm kind of hoping they do at the deadline with the dumping of the Presley contract, the Montero contract. I think they have $6 million to play with. You can get those bats. Just when you zoom out, I'm just like, man, it feels like they just dropped the ball at the 1. Like you prematurely scored.
I mean, if they were, they were rumored to be in the top, like the last 3 left on Jorge Polanco. If you would have got Polanco,
oh yeah, and I was anti-Polanco. I was wrong.
I was too.
I was so wrong.
I mean, I was anti to the point where I was like, that's not who I want. I wish they would get somebody better, but also at the same time, I knew they needed a bat.
Yeah,
and even if Polanco was, his career normal of like 700 OPS right now, it'd still be solid.
Still be one of the top.
Second base. Yeah, I mean, imagine you had Polanco, hitting how he's hitting right now at second as your regular second baseman. I mean, that's a strong offense. On Cam Smith and the trade, Baseball Reference, B-War. Kyle Tucker.
Like
Kyle Tucker is currently at 1.4. So Hayden Wesneski has given you 0.4. So you're only 1 away. Cam Smith is already at 0.6. And Isak Paredes is at 1.4. So overall, you're +1 WAR on that trade this year. Obviously, WAR isn't everything. Kyle Tucker's looked great. He's up to 8 bombs. He looks really good. But you can argue that trade was great for both sides. It might be one of the most even trades on both sides that we've seen.
Well, it's just like in my head, it's like everything was right on paper. Everything is right when you say it out loud. But there's a human element of what a Kyle Tucker does for your lineup, and you're seeing it in Chicago, where you pitch around him or you're forced to pitch to him because there's traffic on base.
Yeah.
You're seeing that. And obviously, the 1.4 WAR for Paredes, hopefully Walker turns it around. I don't think anyone's scared to pitch a Yordan Alvarez right now, like we've seen over the last 6 years, because there's no one behind him that can do damage. Why would I pitch to him? And to the even further, he's struggling right now.
Yeah. To your point about Tucker, the way his impact around him in the lineup, I think fans would feel a little bit better about Isak and Walker's production right now if Yordan was doing his normal thing. And I feel like that would help Walker and Isak around him. And obviously, we're not going to, Yordan is Yordan. He's a stud. I don't think anybody.
His savant page is still very, very.
Yeah, sexy. I don't think anybody's
his numbers are gonna.
Well, there's some people that are like talking shit on Yordan, which is like, you're an idiot. Like he's going to be fine. I think everybody thinks he's going to be fine. But that is an a kind of flying under the radar thing for this team this year. We talk about the offense. When he's not going, the offense follows. You see the games where he's gone off, he's had a double and a home run or whatever. They're easy wins.
I always revert my thinking to one of the great interviews we did with Brent Strom, and we talked about how the philosophy of tacking a lineup and how they view pockets of lineups. And like, hey, we're going to use this guy against this pocket, this guy against this pocket. When you have no pockets, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, you have to create those pockets, so those guys got to step up to extend the lineup. But like right now, as everyone watching and as a fan, like, look at the lineup. Be like, if you put yourself in an opposing pitching game coordinator, pitching coach, catcher position, and you're looking at the Astros lineup, there's a lot of pockets I could tack, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of pockets where I'm like, okay, we can go this guy through this. We can do this. Okay. We like this guy right here. So that's kind of where I'm at really early on, and it's just kind of making a mountain out of a molehill situation. But this team is going to go as far as their pitching, and the pitching's pretty fucking good. And I said it on the podcast to preview the season. I said there's no other pitching staff other than the Seattle Mariners that I would take over the Houston Astros, and I still stand by that. I think the Astros pitching staff will probably even surpass the Mariners right now with all their injuries. But
yeah, and Castillo's not doing great for them, and Wu is kind of falling back.
That contract is bad.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at. This pitching's gonna carry, and you get some reinforcements, you get some bats, you get some guys playing positive regression. I mean, hey, maybe it takes the White Sox to get you going as well. You string three together and you keep it rolling. So I think that's where I'm at. I just want to. One of the bigger things I think that I like seeing from a perspective of just being a fan is hearing Dana, hearing Espada, hearing all the coaches throughout spring training. It's like, hey, we need to get more athletic. We need to put pressure on teams on the base pass. We need to get pressure XYZ, and they've done that tremendously, because for the longest time it just felt like, I mean, especially last year, teams were just like just jabbing us to death. Just like one of those old school boxers that is not going to have a knockout punch, but when you look up at the punch track, right, and they're like, damn, they landed 200 jabs, that wears you down. And I think the Astros have flipped that to, you're seeing guys going first to third, you're seeing guys take extra bags, you're seeing bags being swiped. Obviously the team speed as a whole is not tremendous, but you can see them doing the little things of baseball right. And that's exciting just for me being a seam head, just where I can just be like, hell yeah. Seeing Paredes go first to third on a ball, a single, shit, yeah, that's awesome. So I like seeing that through these last 6 weeks. And they just look more athletic. And hell, you get some boppers and you get your boppers going, you get fun.
Yeah, I agree. I think this weekend is a great opportunity for some of the guys to say, all right, like this is the time to get your legs back under you and launch towards the rest of the year. I will make a bold prediction right now. Yordan got a day off, and then he got a day off and then a scheduled day off for the team. It's 2 days off for Yordan.
A lot of days off.
He usually comes from days off and has a good time. So I'm gonna say Yordan hits 3 home runs this weekend.
Wow. Okay.
I think he hits 3 home runs. I think he from this point on, he's Yordan. He's Yordan, the Yordan we know. I think he just needed some time off, get his swing back against, and that's one thing I'm worried about this weekend is the Astros kind of being in the mentality that we're in, which is this should be a sweep, this should be easy, and not putting in the, I think diligence on that they should be.
I think they know
they will, but
yeah, I think they know what's it about. I mean, you can get to 19 and 14, right? You can get to 19 and 14.
19 and 14
if you take care of business this week.
You're up there with some of the best records in baseball.
19 and 14 is a hell of a lot better than 7 and 19 and everything else in between.
I mean, I've been waiting for it. As soon as they, hopefully it's another few weeks away, but as soon as they get to that 19,
there ain't no Mexico City on the schedule either.
As soon as they get to that 19 loss mark, we can really compare the two seasons,
Oh,
and hopefully it's something
man.
like 30 and 19, and we can be like, look at the fucking
Look at the
difference.
difference.
It's crazy.
Um,
Any more chat stuff? If Rodgers doesn't wake up, do we hit up the Rays and get Brandon Lowe? We were talking during the day game about a left-handed second baseman that you can slot in a lineup. I don't know how Brandon Lowe's doing.
Got it.
But I know he's been good in the past.
Yeah, Casey, I'm where you. I want him to see him worked up 3 to 4 starts. I'm focused on Lance being where he is at the All-Star break than anything else. And I think they're going to go to a 6-man. It feels like with Hayden's being bumped. Brandon Lowe is sitting at a 566 OPS, batting
Jesus.
209. He's
Yeah, that's
23 for 110.
That's not much better than
4 home
Brendan-
runs. He'd
Brendan
be like a
Rodgers.
leading Astro home run.
I mean, it's not a whole lot better than Brendan Rodgers, but if you could
This
get him,
Savant page isn't bad in his
cheap.
XBA,
you can get it for cheap
XL.
and hope that you can turn things around. Yeah, Casey. I mean, Lance McCullers was an ace for the Astros. I don't think that's a stretch to say at all. I mean, he was a former ace. He was an ace for at least a full season and a whole playoff run until he got hurt.
You know what it is?
Uh,
You know what it is? We got 2 aces, but 2s are wild. So technically, you have 3 aces.
Yeah.
You just think about that.
yeah, think
2s,
about that.
2s are wild.
Think about that. Yeah, no, I don't think anybody expects him to be ace this weekend. We're just having a little fun with the title. Should I pick up Lance for my fantasy team? Probably not, unless you're in a 12 team
Hey,
league.
stash him on the bench. Crispy, I'm with you. Yeah, plenty of chances to win that Detroit game with runner scoring position. We stranded a small village on the base pass.
Yeah.
But also, I think for me, I was kind of more ecstatic that they kept giving themselves opportunities. Obviously, it's baseball. Like, it's the failure part is going to happen. But I liked seeing every fucking opportunity, and it felt like the last 4 innings, it felt like you had the tie and run at the plate, right? So years past, I think last year's Astros didn't. I felt like they never did that one time last year, all season, of just that kind of gritty fight back, that gritty like, okay, we're gonna give ourselves an op for a swing away.
There was times last year, even earlier this year, where a 3-1, you're losing 3-1, you're like, this game's over.
Oh yeah,
Yesterday, 2 days ago, they were down. What was it? 7-2, 7-3, 7-1,
7-1 after that,
and it felt like they could come back. They could keep chipping away, and they started to. And the more you keep getting guys on base, the better chance you have of good things happening. I mean, it's frustrating when it doesn't work, but I would rather continue having guys get hits and keep getting on base and lose than lose. It's like the 2-0 game they lost. The 2-0 games they lost to the Royals. Yeah, you want to see guys keep putting together good at bats, keep hitting. Roll that into this weekend.
I love Jeremy in the leadoff.
I love it.
I've
been wanting it, and they did it.
I love it.
It wasn't for the reason I thought they would do it with Altuve, and I wonder if that continues with being on the road. You know what I mean? Since
probably
on the road you hit first.
Oh, that's actually that's actually a very good.
You don't have Altuve doesn't have to worry about running in from left
point.
field.
Hey, you know he's human this year for the first time in their career. Somewhat.
Well, I can see it. So
Mr. Mike Trout. He does have 9 home runs.
Yeah.
He has an OPS of 726.
He's going to get himself to 500 home runs.
He's batting 179.
Yeah.
He's 19 for 106.
You know, it was
9
crazy
tanks.
for the longest time with his swing that how he was having such a good batting average was crazy. Because if you look at his swing, he swings a shell bat. Being a high average guy,
his bat speed's only 73.2 this year.
Is down.
71.
I was looking at Cam Smith's Savant page, and his bat speed is up there, but also playing right field for the first time in his career, he's one of the best right fielders in baseball.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy. Yeah,
he's like up there in all the outs above average.
I want to see more. I want to see more pull side power. I'm tired of everything, kind of. But
he needs to hang out with Paredes for a weekend.
He needs to go. Look, Tio Paredes needs to bring him to the carne asada and be like, "Hey,
Just,
this is how we sit and spin and pull the ball.
Yeah.
We were sitting on the third base side towards the Crawford box, but that section over there, foul territory, right along the railing.
Keuchel's corner.
And Josh was taking photos and everything. And I was like, "Hey, brother, put that down. We're in a hot zone, dude. We're in a nuclear hot zone because Paredes is digging in and just hitting rockets. Like you can hear seams of the balls, like sections over of just every time you pull the ball." Yeah. So Cam Smith just hang out with Tio Paredes to go a little carne asada, and
we've seen what happens when he pulls the ball in the air.
Yeah,
he had 2 bombs in one night. I mean, I feel like the few times that he's pulled the ball and lifted it, it's done. It's hit the wall or gone over the wall. I don't think he has an oppo home run this year, right? I think he just has three pulled home runs.
Yeah, that was the one thing. Thunder and Crispy. I was obviously the 0 for 5, right? The 0 for 5 for Walker after a really good series.
Yeah.
The other 2 games, but that was rough. Not pitch hitting Jordan at all at any of those tying moments.
That told me it was a dusty old school. Like he has the day off. Like the day he is off. He is not playing today, no matter what.
Very, very, very dusty rolls. 8 p.m. I'm with you.
Yeah.
About Dubes, I'm right there with you. I think you roll Rogers and Tuve.
Yeah, I think you need to give Rogers the everyday starting role for like 2 weeks. This is your spot. Fall into a groove. Be comfortable with it. You're playing every day. See what you can do, and give him a chance. And then if you're not getting it, then that's when you really got to look at if there is any sort of random. Is there a guy in the KBO you can you can go get?
There ain't nothing.
Is
brother.
There
there ain't nothing.
There's some trades that you can do.
I mean, perspective, glass half full. I guess the way to view it is kind of like, hey, all these guys are not going to hit 500 OPS. Like, there's going to be positive regression to league average to at least 700. If not, then we're in deep shit. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, the DeZenzo Yiner.
Yeah, that was weird.
I don't know, Jim.
Will we see Cam Smith in center field? We will if Jake Myers continues to start not hitting again. He's kind of fallen off recently. We said at the beginning of the year, all we really need from Jake Myers is like a 650 OPS, like a 270 batting average, something like that. Just be decent because we know his glove plays. But that was before we knew what Cam Smith would be, and before we knew he would be so capable in the outfield. There could be a time 3 months down the road where Jake Myers is not hitting, Cam Smith is continuing to practice in center field and is looking decent, and they might decide, hey, we would much rather have Cam Smith in center and DeZenzo, or a platoon of DeZenzo and Chaz, or a platoon of all 4, kind of rotating out there.
Yeah,
rather than saying, Jake Myers, this is your center field.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm just worried about putting too much on the kid's plate, but hell, he's been able to do it. So, fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, I if you asked me a week ago, before that it was even rumored that he was going to be like getting practice in center field, I would have been like, no way they're going to put him out in center field. But they're doing it, so they wouldn't be practicing him in center field if it wasn't some percentage of a chance that they want to do that.
Morgan over on IGS, Yiner has / or had such an elite pop time. Why can't we throw more guys out? The staff is so bad at covering.
It's the pitcher.
But still, I mean, his pop time just like here is just a tick off. Like, I mean, he had that one that was legit. Like,
was it him or Carantini that threw out Bobby? I know he threw out somebody.
Was Yiner? I think it was Yiner.
It's just it's mostly on the pitchers. Obviously, like I don't think he's a top 10 arm back there. But it's a lot of the steals are on the pitchers not both not paying attention to them on first. I forget who it was. Was it It was a reliever that one of the games last week. They showed the angle, the third base angle where you can see the runner, and he just was getting the biggest lead.
Oh yeah,
He was more like, well, I think it was Abreu
It almost feels like, remember when John Lester had the yippies and he couldn't make the
Yeah.
throw, and they're
just like whatever. Yeah, like you can just tell like when they're not even just have the runner first does not mean, and sometimes that's good for a pitcher. Like this pitching staff is great. They have a very low ERA, and maybe some of that comes from not worrying too much about the runner first and focusing on getting the guy out at home. But what comes with that is the guy on first thinks and knows that, hey, I can, even if it's a half of a half step closer to second, that they can get a lead and a bigger jump. That becomes pretty impossible to throw out.
Yeah. Greg over on Twitch says, are they unhappy with Myers to put Smith in center? I think it's more of the situation of getting DeZenzo in, where you're putting Smith out in center, so you have DeZenzo in one of the corners, because DeZenzo's putting really, really good at bats together. He needs time. He's just kind of pigeonholed in different spots. So I think it's a little bit more of that.
I think it's just overall roster flexibility. That's something that they clearly prioritize this offseason and this season, is having flexibility for Joe to say, I can change the lineup. Almost everybody can move to a different position in this lineup. So if I need to get a hot hand in there or need to give somebody a day off, I have that flexibility. And having Cam be able to play center field at the big league level gives this roster that much more flexibility. You can see an outfield of Cam Smith, DeZenzo, and Chaz, or Yordan, Cam Smith, and DeZenzo, and have a big offensive lineup.
Walker Yannick in high A, he's had 7 stolen bases attempted against him. 7 have stolen on him. Batting .250 with a .616 OPS. So, if anyone's coming up, it'd probably be Salazar. Let me see if there's any. Yeah, there's that's about
Walker, it would definitely. I mean, Yannick's still probably 2 years away, at most.
Yeah, I'm not. Sally's got a .567 OPS, batting .188 in 69 plate appearances.
Yeah, I mean, I think the catcher.
I think what you have is what you have.
Yeah.
I think what you have is what you have.
Yiner's gonna find it.
Yeah,
with the bat. I'm not too worried about Yiner.
Some bad at bats.
Yeah, but his slump has looked the same as his slump has looked other years.
No,
well.
this is way worse.
You think so? I think
some of these at bats. Some of these at bats is you can give him a Babe Ruth tree limb and he's not going to make contact.
But I feel like that's what he looked like when he had a really bad slump in August last year, and he looked awful. He was swinging at. If you threw a fastball up in the zone, like way above the zone to him, he was going to swing and he was going to miss it. You threw a slider down and away, he was going to swing and he was going to miss it. But he eventually found it and even out and had a good year.
There, this is. I mean, Savon Page is. I mean, ugh. This is.
I think he's gonna find it. I think he's gonna be fine.
I think he's lost like Odysseus, and I think any barrel that's found is luck right now. To be honest.
I think by mid-June, he's got an OPS over 700. We're okay.
His pop time last year was 1.97. In 2023, it was 1.9.
What is it?
In 2022, it was not registered. This year, his pop time is a 2.02. Not good. Not good.
A bongo bat.
On top of a 11th percentile.
There's a catcher in San Diego we could trade for it. Nope. Let's not.
You're getting 515 OPS. I mean, we'll see.
He's very harsh on Yiner, and that's okay. That's okay. As a former catcher, he sees things he doesn't like. Yiner's gonna be fine.
I don't know. I don't know, Jim.
He's gonna be fine.
I don't know, Jim.
he didn't go from us thinking he was going to be the best catcher in baseball to just being
I think Yiner's going to be a really good first baseman after Christian Walker's contract's over.
I mean, I could agree with that. I never thought he was an amazing.
I do think you need to extend him. I do think you could probably cash in on a contract extension right now. Yeah, I mean, he rakes. He has raked. We need him to rake because
he's gonna be right. I still think he finishes the year over like 20-something home runs.
That'd be lovely if he got 20 bombs. Going into tonight's game, I do want to do a little housekeeping as we do every Friday show. The American League West is being led by the Seattle Mariners at 18-12, the Houston Astros at 16-14, 2 games back. The only 2 teams with positive run differential. The Athletics, formerly known as the Oakland Athletics, is 17-15, 2 games back. The South Oklahoma Rangers are at 16-16, and the Los Angeles Angels nursing a 6-game losing streak, 12-18.
Did you see a thing I sent about their travel?
Yeah, I saw it on. Was it Foul Territory? They were talking about it.
Yeah, it's been a known thing that they really go cheap on their travel, and it really affects them on.
Did you see who liked the post?
Who?
Mrs. Trout.
Did she?
Yeah.
I know Zach Kozar, former Angel, was talking about it.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. It makes me want to look into betting lines after they travel.
No, that's a good. That's a good indicator.
Tigers pitching is legit this year. Yeah.
Tigers
Astros played. People in the comments were talking shit about the Royals and the Tigers, but those are 2 very solid teams in the AL.
Yeah.
Both very capable of winning their division. They're probably going to be the top 2 in their division.
They'll be a top 2 seed. I think Detroit gets a bye. They'll have 1 of 2 seeds, and they'll have Skubal on rest. It's gonna be tough whoever gets lined up against them. Carson says I'm an Angels fan and have been one for years. It's rough. Yeah, brother. Especially because you guys when y'all came to Houston, y'all were sitting in first place going to that series. So
yeah, they just
Rangers playing the Mariners today. Yeah, let them beat up on each other.
The players, I'd say that anytime the Angels are good is when they're getting by on pure talent, because their front office and their coaching and just everything around that organization is not prestige at all. So it's a lot of team rallying together and saying, let's fucking win this game, boys. Let's do what we can do.
They had the greatest player that's ever lived.
They had two.
They had two
of the greatest players
ever.
And couldn't do anything with it.
Ever.
It's just awful.
Framber Valdez against Is it Griffin Cannon? Jonathan Cannon.
Yeah, Griffin's on the
Cannon shoved against us. I remember correctly. I saw a YouTube comment.
He shoved against us, and then outside of that one start has been a very mid pitcher in the bigs. But of course, that means he'll probably shove against us again. The White Sox have some pretty good starters. I'll say that. We're not facing Shane Smith or Sean Burke, which I really like those guys. Cannon is decent. Martin is decent. Martin on Saturday, 33 innings pitched, 3.24 ERA.
And then Wilson on Brian Wilson from Arkansas? Bryce Wilson. He was a Brave, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's 3 guys that this offense should be able to get to. It's a offense that the Astros pitching staff should be able to carve up. So we'll see.
I mean,
you want to get a prediction in for Dog of the Series?
Ooh.
I kind of already gave mine away. I think Jordan is going to go off this weekend. He's my Dog of the Series prediction. I think 3 bombs, a couple doubles. Just good series for Jordan. I think one game he hits 2 home runs.
I'm gonna go. Yiner Diaz. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna go Jerry Pena. I'm gonna ride the hot hand. I think him being a freak on the base pass, he's hitting the ball hard. I think they'll have to generate and manufacture some runs and go from there. I think he's a catalyst right now. I'm just ride the hot hand of that. I'm gonna go. Jeremy Pena.
That's a good point. Altuve is known to hit bombs to left field there at.
It is kind of crazy that we're 3 full years removed, going on year 4. The White Sox had a playoff team that they were building up, and the Astros just said, "Smush."
Have you seen what Eloy Jimenez is doing?
He's like in AAA and not even batting his weight.
Yeah, he's in AAA batting like a 400 OPS. And then Luis Roberts having just a awful year.
Oh, he's gonna go off this week.
Of course.
Luis Robert Savant.
Dog of the week is going to be LMJ. That's sick. I hope so.
622 OPS, batting 183 for Luis Robert Jr.
That's awful.
Yikes.
Thoughts on blue ball? Did you say thoughts on blue ball? I thought he looked like he's not quite ready. I think he has great stuff, but it looked like there's some adjustments that need to be made. Not that he's not quite ready to be in the bigs. I think he could make those adjustments in the bigs if you needed an extra guy. I just don't think they need that extra guy right now, so he'll probably be sent back down. Or has he already been sent back down?
Yeah, he got sent down that night.
So. Yeah, I think he has to work on some location stuff with his slider and probably mechanic stuff because it was very all over the place with the spin rate on that slider. He'd have spin rate of like 2,500, 2,600, great on that slider. He'd be snapping it off. And then he had a couple where he left it up, like the 1-2 Baez. That was like 2,300 spin rate, and he left it up in the zone, and of course, grand slam. And then there's location stuff. There's his sinker that I don't know if it was a pitch sequencing thing or location thing or what. We were at the game, so I wasn't seeing like the strike zone the entire time, but it was getting hit. I mean, that sinker, I think he gave up at least 6 or 7 balls hit over 95 miles an hour.
His exit velocity on average was 97.4. The max exit velo of 109.6.
Yeah. I think he's a good pitcher.
He'll be good. He can keep building on it.
But yeah, he needs work. He needs to keep, he needs to get the pitching lab and work on it. I do think he's going to be a really serviceable guy. He's a guy that like next year, whenever Framber's not here, and you're looking at your staff for the next season, he's a guy that is serviceable to be slotted into that 5th rotation spot. Yeah. Do you swap Walker and Yordan? No. I think you need Yordan to be in that 1, 2, or 3, obviously 2 or 3 at all times. But what's your prediction for Lance on Sunday?
4 1/3, 3 earned, 5 punchies, 2 walks.
That's healthy. I would be
standard line.
I'd be totally fine with that. I'm going 5 innings, 1 earn, 6 punchies, 3 walks. Getting up to he gets out of the 5th, like getting up to his limit of like he's getting up to 83, 84 pitches.
Yeah, I like that. 8 p.m. is too early to call Gusto the next man up coming behind Brown and Eric Getty. Yeah, I think so. I think Gusto needs to develop just one out pitch.
Yeah,
just one more kind of put him away because it seems like it's always 0-2, 1-2 with him, and then kind of a battle. But he's got that ride on that fastball, that top shelf. Yeah. I think he's gonna be an asset the entire year of just being a guy that can eat multiple innings in the pen. Obviously, he gets bumped out of the roto, most likely, but he's extended now, so he'll be able to give you that 2 or 3 innings kind of bridge roll multiple times, which you need, what teams really hunt and thrive for. So
Yeah. So when Eric Getty comes back, what do you think the rotation looks like? Framber, Hunter, Eric Getty, Blanco, Lance.
I think
Was that-
Blanco. I think Blanco maybe moves to the pen.
Before Wisniewski?
Yeah,
Really? I don't think so. With
I
how they're
think
treating
so.
Wisniewski with skipping a start, I think they'd rather move him to the pen.
I think Renault Blanco's kind of perfect roles that Peacock. It just seems like that second and third time through he gets touched up. He's so good that first and second time through it. But if his slider's pitching, I mean, that slider that last time through was just so. It maybe plays. I don't know. It's a good problem to have.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think it's between Blanco and Wisniewski, and I think with how they skipped his start and are potentially worried about innings and the longevity of his arm, I think he'd probably be the first one they move into that long relief role. They also could just go 6-man, and you have Gusto in the pen, and then you go 6-man with Wes and Blanco and Lance.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have. It's a good solution to kind of figure out.
What is the bigger neck, Davis Mills or Ryan Gusto? I think Ryan has the bigger neck.
Yeah, he's got some shrugs, dog.
Davis has the taller neck.
Yes,
but Gusto has the that's the traps. What is that?
Yeah, your trap.
He's got the
girth. Pause.
He's got the like Batman cowl.
He's got he's got like that old linebacker towel like pads.
I bet he gives great hugs. Davis Mills has a 100-year oak tree for a neck. Yeah, I know Walker has been struggling hitting, but he has looked great playing first, making such hard plays look easy. No one. Yeah, no, we've been talking about it.
What happened to?
Really appreciate y'all's insights. I can't catch all the games, so I rely on this recap. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, I mean that's why we're here. We're talking ball. Yeah, I think the Astros clearly made infield defense a priority this offseason with the trades they made and who they signed. And you saw that in the Wednesday game.
Has been amazing.
You saw what happens when infield defense fails you. That's what happens to, like, as Astros fans, we don't watch all the other games. Most people don't watch a random Reds Brewers game or whatever. That what happened Wednesday happens often to other teams around the league where they make errors and it costs them and they lose games and they give up more runs than they should. That doesn't happen normally for the Astros because they made and they always have, but this year it made even more of an emphasis on infield defense, and it saves you games. Can you think? I mean, there's so many times where even if it's not even a flashy play, but somebody like Rogers gets to a ball up the middle that would have been a single. He gets there, makes a good throw, Walker scoops it or something, and that saves an entire inning. And most people, you move on, that was like whatever. But when that goes wrong is when people really notice it.
Yeah, it's been elite. It's been very, very, very
What's
elite.
up, Paul?
Defense.
We have 16 games straight going to a 6-man. Do we have 16 games straight?
I think so. That sounds right.
Oh shit, yeah. Well, starting on the 9th, they have the Reds, Brewers, Rangers, Rays, and Mariners all in a 16-game stretch. That's more than 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
As you
10,
count,
11,
friend of the
12,
program,
13, 14, 15, 16,
World Series champion Corey Lee,
17.
has been on the IL, so we won't see Corey play. He's got an ankle. He's been on the IL since the 10th of April. That's not good.
Yeah,
hopefully,
did you see what happened with that?
He like hit the bag.
Yeah, like he it was a pickoff, and he went to step back on the bag and rolled his ankle, and he fell off the bag.
And they tagged him.
And they tagged him out.
That's dirty.
That's bush league.
That's
right?
dirty. I mean, you take the out.
You have
it's
to.
dirty.
It's the big leagues. You have to. But like, it was like he was like, writhing in pain. And they're just like, you're out.
From the dome right now.
Okay.
Can you tell me Jeremy Pena's OPS?
786.
791.
791. The only reason I was close, and
you cheated?
Well, no, I didn't look there, but when we were at the game Wednesday, like halfway through the game, I looked at his OPS and it was like 777. I knew he got another hit after that.
Well, update everyone watching because you guys love it so much. I'm probably gonna have to pay Brian another Perry's bet. Jay Myers update. He's at 599 OPS.
599. Hey, just one.
I need a couple doubles.
Bombs.
Hey, hold on. We talked about Demon Week. This is where he got injured. You're burying that. Where's the rake? You're burying that rake today. Why do you still have this rake?
Dude, it was working great for the first start of the season.
This is all on you. You're paying for appetizers.
Every time we put,
you're paying for appetizers.
Every time we put the
who
rake,
paying you?
Every time we brought this rake on camera.
You from Midland?
Every time we brought this rake on camera, Jake has done well. So I put it over
Who
here.
paying you?
I was kind of keeping it discreet over here on camera, but like not talked about. And then you called it out. So here's what's gonna happen. If Jake gets a home run this series, we're not only keeping the rake, we have to bring it out often. If he has a bad series,
if he hits a home run, I'm running around my neighborhood, dude.
if he has a bad series, I'll bury it.
I'm gonna actually just send Jake the invoice. I mean, I love you. I'm the one that loves you. I'm the one fighting for you.
If from this point on,
I'm gonna send you the
he
invoice.
starts hitting like an all-star, we might have to buy more of these things.
Brother, I'll dress up in the costume of a rake if he does that. Houston Dash tonight, 7 p.m. Stop by section 118 for the
Rockets
Alitos
tonight.
Bravos.
You got
Rockets
Dash tonight. Oh, we have a big day Sunday. Everybody who is in the Houston area, come hang out. We are going to be at Cobos Sunday Fun Day. Some crawfish boil. Astros at 1. Lance's
F1 at 3.
It's Lance's comeback start at 1. We're all going to be watching it together. So come hang out. And then we have F1, the Miami Grand Prix, which looks like that's always a fun race. And then potentially
maybe a basketball game. I don't know. Maybe a
We'll
basketball game. I don't know. Maybe a basketball game.
Sunday's gonna be really fun.
But yeah, other than that, take care of business. Astros tonight. Framber Valdez on the bump. Hunter Brown Saturday night prime time.
Hunter Brown no hitter against the White Sox.
Hunter Brown plus 2,500 to win AL Cy Young. People forget. And then Lance McCullers Jr. on Sunday. So
3 aces in Chicago.
Twos are wild. This episode was brought to you by Big City Wings, Houston's wing joint, Apollo's wing joint, 13 locations. Josh is prematurely getting the zing right. He's just zanging and zinging.
Keep going.
Hey, Billy, actually, before I finish this Big City ad read, what's your thoughts on the Astros so far? We got Young G. We got Young
pretty
G.
much the month of. I'm gonna get in here.
Yeah.
So far, pretty much the month of April. Good.
Okay.
Good, because this is an entirely new team. They've had ups, they've had downs, but to sustain pretty below average offense and good pitching up until this point and remain a few games over 500, the ceiling's pretty high, I'd say. So, letter grade, B.
Oh, okay, I like that.
B
C
plus.
I was like C plus, B minus.
I think because it's new school, like going to a new school, and if you have a B up into the first month of your new school and you have a B, that's pretty good. You know, you can only go up from there. You just have to get to feel things out, get to know people.
Yeah, you gotta know the lay of the land.
Exactly. You gotta like read the terrain a little bit.
Like that guy's cool. And then like a week later, like that guy sucks.
I mean, a lot of Astros fans had no idea who Isak Paredes was.
Yeah.
And now, like, you know who he is.
Yeah.
He's a walk merchant. He pulls the
Deadpool.
ball. Like, good defense. Like, it's just getting people integrated in our new dynasty. Maybe not new dynasty. That's a stretch. But our new
variant.
Our new age. New age.
Yeah.
New
Volume
age,
3.
new era. Yeah. So B plus.
We should do a graphic of Isak Paredes as Deadpool.
Why?
Because he's Deadpool. Like he's a Deadpool hitter.
Deadpool.
Deadpool.
That's good. I didn't.
Deadpool.
That's
Y'all all
Me
you
and
did a
Josh-
spit take. You did a spit take.
dude. I looked at Josh. I was like, "Did you get that? Did you understand?"
That's how my brain works.
But yeah, B plus, and I have optimism that they're only going to get better. Offensively, they should not be hitting like this. So the water always evens out, right, boys? All right.
That's perfect. So shout out to also Big City Wings. Thank you, Young G. I think he still owes Sam a shift.
It's like, don't talk
But
about it.
13 locations. I'm gonna get some crawfish this weekend from them as well. Using Zing Zang. It's the weekend. You're brunching. Get your Zing Zang. Load up. Michelada mix, spicy Bloody Mary, blazing, the margarita mix, everything in between. I'm wearing the Kobe Stevens. I'm wearing my birdie shirt. I wish the weather wasn't gonna be bad because I'm gonna go hunt some birdies here. But go over to Kobe Stevens. Put in code Apollo at checkout, get 20% off, get their athletic wear, the women's line, the youth line, golfing line, the outdoor line, everything in between. They're doing big game changing things. And then also
Sunday.
Sunday.
Hold that one.
Oh, sorry. Sunday.
So Sunday we're gonna have both
Sunday.
variants. Batch 2. This is the last batch of these shirts, and then they're going into the vault.
We bought a vault.
It
It was the worst purchase we've ever done as a company, but we bought a vault.
So Sunday, come grab them. We only have, I don't know, like 40 something. I don't know.
I think we have 40 shirts left.
We don't have a whole lot left. We're gonna last time in person we'll sell them. If there are any left, we'll put them online. But yeah, we're selling through what's left of batch 2 of the H-Time versus everyone variant, and that's it.
That's it. That's the Chicago White Sox Friday live show series. Thank you, everyone, tuning in. Hit like, subscribe, resubscribe, unsubscribe, hit a 5-star review, resubscribe again, tell a friend to tell a friend, and appreciate
Subscribe
you guys.
with all you go use all your Google emails. I know you have 1,000. Everybody has 1,000.
We're at 14.4. I really want to get to 20 this year.
Go log into YouTube on each one. Hit that subscribe button.
My knee is killing me. That thing's about to storm. My knee.
That's the most old head thing you've
Oh
ever said
man,
on the
my knees are
podcast.
killing me. Yeah, but subscribe, please.
Thank you for watching and listening to Beyond That Podcast. We'll see you next time. Go Stros.
Good ball. Peace. Love you guys.
Beat the White Sox.
Please. Jay Myers hit 3 home runs.